everyone, Assalamu alaikum. In this video, we will talk about preparation of PhD interview. Once you are done with submitting your PhD application, now the second step, all you need to do is wait for the results. If you have passed the documents evaluation, you will receive an invitation for interview. So this video will talk about the basics of how to prepare for a PhD interview. In the second video, in next video, I will talk about the kind of questions and how to answer those and how to be very confident in your PhD interview and what are the necessary things to have a successful interaction with your committee, interview committee. So in this video, we will just try to look at the basics before you attempt a PhD interview. So as I said earlier, that if you are invited, then you will receive an email at least 2 weeks or maybe 1 week before, and they will mention the details of interview, date, time, and venue in the email. And you will know that when your PhD interview will happen. And so now the first step, once you have received an invitation for interview, then the first step, I recommend you all that you need to check all the relevant application data that you submitted in that application. For example, it can be your documents, research proposal, motivation letter, anything which they demanded and you submitted, so that you send for this particular PhD position. Because sometimes during interview they ask about your CV, the experience you mentioned in your CV, the any internship you did in a particular lab, and you said that you acquired these skills during your internship. So it's very important that you already look at those things that you mentioned in your CV, in your motivation letter, your research proposal, each and everything, so that nothing is unknown to you once if they ask about such things. If you submitted application in which they demanded, or they wanted you to submit a research proposal, then they will also tell you in the email that you will be interviewed for this much time. Like mostly the interview takes 30 minutes, and in that part you will be allowed to present your proposal for 10 to 15 minutes. I guess 10 minutes are more than enough. So for your presentation, you need to prepare 7 to 8 slides, and they will instruct you that sometimes they instruct that thing also in your email, that you need to prepare this number of slides. So this in that way it becomes more easy. And if they do not mention, then you can make 7 to 8 slides, and you can present for 10 minutes, and then they will start questioning you. And for the rest of 20 minutes, that session will happen. So if you submitted a research proposal for the PhD position, then make PPT slides of the proposal. And in that proposal, you mentioned the first slide you mentioned the introduction or state of our. Second slide you mentioned the objectives. In third, you talk about the methodology, the techniques you will use, and always have an idea that how you will implement those techniques. Because sometimes they will ask you the basics of using those techniques. So it's a better idea that you already know about those techniques, and how those techniques work, and how you will implement those. And if you didn't submit a research proposal, then you need to make a PowerPoint presentation of your master's research work in 7 to 8 slides. For example, in Europe, sometimes they announce project-based PhD position. So in that case, research is already defined, and you don't need to make a research proposal. All you need to do is prepare your CV, submit the motivation letter, and they will also ask for 2 to 3 or maybe 1 to 2 reference letters. So in that case, all you need to do is prepare your master thesis research work, presentation of your master research work. So that way you skip, I will suggest you to skip the methodology part or explain it in just one slide when you are making a PPT of your master thesis research work, because they are not interested in your in the methodology that you use. You can also discuss it in just one slide. That would be good. And your main focus should be the results section. Just add the pictures of your results and explain them verbally. I would suggest you to not add the written results in your slides, because they are interested in seeing the actual results you got. You need to add the pictures of those results and explain them verbally, that how you did the how you got that result, and what like what it took for from you. So all those things you need to explain verbally, and no need to add any written description of that result. So that way you also make a master's thesis research in 7 to 8 slides, and that's more than enough. Here I have mentioned some important things before you attempt a PhD interview. First of all, if you are attempting a PhD interview for the very first time, then you should rehearse your PPT before your interview. Look deep into the research and think about the possible questions. It's a better idea that you ask yourself questions and you try to answer those, because it's not like that you just prepare your PPT, you read it, and then you go for the interview. That's not a good thing, and you will find yourself regretting for this behavior. So it's good that you ask yourself questions, that what kind of questions someone can ask in your slides, and from your slides, and what could be the answers. Okay, so this practice would really help you in your interview. If you have published any review or research paper before, and you mentioned that in your CV, in your motivation letter somehow, so I will suggest you read it as well before you attempt for interview, because sometimes they ask you about the kind of techniques, the material you discussed in your papers, and they also ask you about the techniques, like if you talk about microarray. I'm from plant science, so I will just give an examples of relevant to my field. uh, Microarray, or any RNA sequencing, DNA sequencing, DNA extraction, any technique, then you need to know about that. They will ask you even that how that technique you can use in that in the project. So it's good to know your research before. Okay, and this way you will not be in a loss. And prepare a good interview for yourself, as you will be asked to interview you to introduce yourself first. Prepare, I mean, 4 to 5 lines interview for yourself, that who you are, where you did your master, and what was the research, and then you can start your presentation. That's more than enough. It shouldn't be that much long, like 5 minutes, just in 1 to 2 minutes. You need to introduce yourself professionally in a very good way. And lastly, I will suggest to install the instructed. They will instruct you the meeting application. Then they like that they are using Teams or Zoom. Then you need to install that meeting application before, and rehearse sharing your slides smoothly. Because sometimes some student who don't know that how to share the slides, and when they appear for the interview, they do it for the very first time, and they start worrying about the process, and this will create a panic situation for you. And throughout the interview you will be like stressed, and you will be panicked. So it's good to already know the process, that how you will do it. Rehearse or practice makes everyone perfect. So yeah, that's all about this video, and in next video we will talk about the kind of questions, how to answer those, what should be prepared before your interview. So the next video will also be very important for you. So until next time, Allah Hafiz.